down into the first corner, but Simon Pagenaud shows his speed right away.
But Alexander Rossi pretty well smoked on the front straightaway. Now Ryan Hunter-Reay is to the inside. Huge crash. Hunter-Reay, Sato. Oh no, and Rossi is in it.
A lot of cars.
Up in the fence is Rosenqvist.
This is disastrous for Rossi in the championship. His teammate was involved like he was last year.
Sato goes to the outside. They're now 3 wide.
They just squeezed him. Sato just came
down
over
on Rossi.
Yeah, he just came down on top of Rossi and then swept everybody out. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that.
Man.
Up in the fence. So, very hard hit for Rosenqvist. Very, very lucky.
I'm so glad that Rosenqvist stayed out of the...
Filed in right with his teammate there. RHR splits the Penskes, and look at Wickens on the outside making a move.
Here comes the red machine, the Lucas Oil entry of Canada's Robert Wickens.
Oh, that's going to be tight through there. Oh, early touch. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's Robert Wickens. And his teammate is into him as well, James Hinchcliffe. That was ugly. That was frightening.
Big, big impact.
That was a very scary accident.
Well, here's Wickens inside. Got a wheel up on Hunter-Reay. They touch there. Hunter-Reay goes, and then Wickens just climbs the left rear, and really don't need to say more. It's just total destruction of the Wickens chassis. Parts flying everywhere. You see Pietro Fittipaldi and Hinchcliffe getting together. But the best news is we heard that Wickens was awake and alert and off for additional medical care.
As I was carrying my tire out, his left rear hit the tire I was carrying, knocked it out. We've got to go back upstairs.
We've got a car in the big problem. Several cars off, and one of them has flipped over. 3 cars involved. Michael Andretti.
Like Michael Andretti looked like Mark Blundell in that bright Motorola colored car.
The safety team on the scene. I believe that's down in the runoff at turn 3.
Look at that. Tires, wheels everywhere.
I believe I heard Michael speaking on the radio. There's Blundell's car in the foreground.
Somebody else walking away from it.
And P.J. Jones.
P.J. Jones walking away from his car.
And according to our timing and scoring, Jones was running in the top 10. Let's take a look at a wild ride for Michael Andretti from his camera.
Okay, through the kink on the back straightaway. 2 cars in front of him. Slips inside. He taps PJ, trying to pass him. Look at that. And he lands upside down on the track, rolling again, tumbling. Look at that. What a ride through that. Oh. That is unbelievable. And is that not a testament to the safety of these cars that this guy's looking to get out of there?
Another look from overhead.
Now that was Zanardi and J.J. Lado, and they touched and took off J.J. Lado's wing. And look at Michael come. Oh, unbelievable.
We cannot compare the resources that this team has to what Ganassi has and what Penske has. What they're doing is exceptional. A small team is bringing the fight to those 2 very large teams. And that is the fastest first lap, the fastest 2 laps that we have seen by a big distance.
Both in the 231s, the first driver to put any lap in the 231. So far, trouble. Oh, what a crash. What a terrible crash.
Up and over, car flipped. Came back, up and over. Oh.
That was a hard hit.
Turn 2. Trouble. Oh my goodness, what a huge crash. Scott Dixon is in it. Jay Howard is the other car involved. Dixon and Jay Howard. There is Dixon. Look at that car. It is destroyed.
There's nothing left of the back. That sawed the engine in half.
As we watch the cars go through here, guys, the car on the very top, okay, which is Jay Howard. We're going to roll this through now. Well, look at Jay. He's already way off the line. He's off the dark patch of the racetrack, which we call the racing line. He's up in the gray. He's lost control of the car. He's hoping he's not going to hit the wall. He impacts the wall, comes off the wall, just misses the 10 of Tony Kanaan. Unfortunately, Scott Dixon is right there, up and over the front of the car. Car hits on the top of the wall. The safety cell on these cars, guys, I can't tell you how strong they are. An awful accident, but as we saw, Scott Dixon right there, hands away from the steering wheel. We saw him get out, and when we first went to this frame, when we first saw this accident, you heard some roar from the crowd, and that was because they knew that Scott Dixon was okay, and the 77 of Jay Howard was also okay.
2 car lengths in it between Power and Dixon. This championship is going to go all the way to the final. Whoa, that's a huge crash. EJ Viso. Was it Marco Andretti? There's 4 or 5 cars involved in that. Turn 10 for the final time. It's a Penske day. It's a Will Power day in Houston. Dario Franchitti. That is a nasty crash. Takuma Sato and Viso.
Dario Franchitti, I think, is in pain. That looks like a heavy crash. I can see him put his head back. As a driver, I feel like I see the wincing there, but let's hope they're okay.
Yeah, it's a crash like that, you got to gather your thoughts a little bit, too, even if you're
And your breath.
Yeah.
And your breath.
You can see Takuma Sato, the guys seem to be on the radio. Viso is extracting himself from the Sitco Andretti Autosport car. What went down here?
And there's the marbles on the outside there. Sato gets loose.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. That is a horrifying ride for Dario Franchitti.
Oh, man. That is an oval crash we've seen before, and we hate to see that kind of impact.
Sato,
oh boy!
Well,
Look at the debris go through. Oh boy! And fencing. Yeah, it does look like there might be some debris into the grandstands as well. That is a violent impact.
Fortunately, the fence kept the car in the racetrack.
This is Graham Rahal arriving on the scene.
Full course yellow, full course yellow. Can you get through there?
So Sato gets loose, and Dario's got nowhere to go. That is a thundering blow.
Yeah.
They talked about a wing adjustment. They vetoed that wing adjustment and a crash on the track.
Huge crash on the front straightaway. Looks like Connor Daly and I believe Joseph Newgarden. Big hit coming into the tri-oval.
See Joseph Newgarden moving in the car. That is a big relief.
That was in the kink coming to the start-finish line. Understand that both are talking on the radio, and that is good. There's Connor Daly in his car, massive damage. You see Joseph Newgarden in his, talking to the safety workers when they got there.
We never like to see a car go cockpit first into the wall like that. That is terrible.
Up at the top of your screen, Connor Daly loose.
Connor got loose. Connor just got loose, corrected, and went up into the track into Joseph, and now Joseph's upside down, and the front spins around, and Connor's car pushing it right into the wall, into the safer barrier. It's a good thing that was safer barrier and not concrete. And these two guys are the best of buddies, too. They're best friends. So this is a double hard.
Yeah, they came up through the junior formulas together. Sound of it. And the violence that you see with which Connor's car snaps. Watch this. He gets loose, and now he's going to correct.
vicious.
And remember, Fontana is all about the draft with the Hanford device. It's like coming up behind a semi at 90 miles an hour and just being pulled right into the back of it.
Oh! Oh, an enormous crash. Oh, my God. A terrible crash. Yellow comes out again.
Cockpit right now inside the helmet.
Big crash! Major incident. Kenny Breck getting way high up into the fence. So 2 cars involved.
That's Scheckter right there. You can see him moving inside the cockpit. His helmet, his steering wheel comes off. Car heavily damaged, but we have one other car right now that is very, very heavily damaged.
Now, what will the IRL do? What will the officials decide to do? The debris from Kenny Breck's car, who got way up into the fence.
Here is the replay of what happened. Breck on the high side of Thomas Scheckter, down the backstretch. At the end of the backstretch, there's the contact, and Breck's car up into the wall, virtually splitting in half. And here is the shot now from the end of the backstretch.